Hi, Professor. Happy Sunday. It's a bit rainy out there, so I apologize for my attire. Um, we went ahead and went over constructivism learning theory this past week, and this is pretty much a learning theory that promotes active, engaged learning, and I found it to be quite interesting. So here's my story that I created. It is called Promoting Physical Fitness. I'll go ahead and read it, and then after I read each read term on the slide, I'll go over it a little bit more in depth. After more students are drinking soda during lunch, Mrs. Polson asked Sarah in her 5th grade class to come up with a plan that helps promote physical education in the school and at home. Using Sarah's prior knowledge, she tells her classmates that most students enjoy doing sport-like physical activities rather than running or push-ups. Red word here is prior knowledge, and prior knowledge is a key concept in constructivism learning theory because in order to promote the next learning concept, you want to make sure that the student has prior knowledge or understanding of the concept that you're about to give them. In this case, it would be physical education or physical activities. Since Sarah and her classmates are working on critical thinking, they try to come up with a way to determine which physical activities kids in their school like doing most. So, red term here is critical thinking, which is a key concept in constructivism thinking because at this point, you're hoping that your student is doing a little bit more in-depth thinking of how this concept that you're teaching them about is going to benefit them, not just in the school setting, but also in life. By using problem solving, Sarah and her classmates decide to produce a survey that lists 5 sports to pick from, and they pass it out to all the other students in the school. Red word here is problem solving, and in this case, the students use problem solving by determining which method would be best to figure out which sport that they were going to promote to the school. And here they decided that a survey would work best. So they actually, discussed amongst each other how and which way would be best to get this information. The results are in, and soccer is the favorite sport. In collaboration with the principal and other teachers, Sarah's 5th grade class decides to host a soccer night inviting all parents and students to participate. Keyword here is collaboration, which is super important in constructivism, and I kind of thought of it as like school, home, community life, which all kind of intertwine in each other. So the student here is understanding that this is, to get your community to participate, also parents and other students. It's not just something that's benefiting only them. In order to communicate the soccer event to the whole school, Sarah and her 5th grade class send out a post on the school's website and pass out flyers around the school. Red word here is communicate or communication, which is important and ideal in constructivism learning theory because students are, actively engaged in learning. So in order to do that, they have to communicate with students around them and also their peers, also adults, even principals, as you saw in the last slide, where they're collaborating with, somebody who's not in their same level of education, like a 5th grader to a 5th grader. They're actually going out and talking to their older peers as well. So, when promoting meaningful contexts such as physical education in school and home life, students like Sarah and her 5th grade class are dealing with real-world issues and more likely to be involved in the classroom and at home. So, red word here is meaningful context, which from what I derived is pretty much the learning that is happening is something that the students can take home with them and deal with in their own life. So it's not just something that's maybe math, science, English based. It's actually something that they will go home with, and in this case is physical education or physical activities. So all in all, constructivism learning promotes active, engaged learning and equates learning with creating meaning from experience. When we first saw that last sentence in the clip that you had us watch about constructivism, I was kind of a little confused. However, after learning, doing this full story, I see that equating learning with creating meaning from experience. So they are, in this case, in my story, the physical education is, the meaning, and then they're going to actually promote a physical activity, and that's going to be the experience that they're learning from. So that's all the red terms that I went over for this week, and I hope you enjoyed my story. Thanks. See you next Tuesday.